This is the Dark Illumination Report podcast for Sunday, August 16th, 2020. And on today's episode, I'm going to be answering a question from a listener who asked me, how do I know whether what's happening to me, whether the communications I'm having are real or whether they're subjective? And I'm going to try to answer that question next.
This is the Dark Illumination Report podcast, the official podcast of Shadow Path Diabolism, your daily dose of Diabolonian philosophy to inspire you on your journey down the crooked shadow path. Here's your host, R.J. Womack, Brother Nero.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining me for this episode of the podcast. I'm your host, R.J. Womack, aka Brother Nero, and this is the Dark Illumination Report podcast, the podcast where we try to promote the religious worship of Satan and demons as a serious faith and way of life. And on today's episode, I'm going to be answering a question that came from a listener who asked, how do I know whether what's happening to me, whether the visions or the communications I'm having are real or are they in my mind? Are they made up? Are they imagination or whatever? How do I know the difference? Is there a way? And my advice has always been that you know whether they're real over time. You have to give it time because many times we'll think we're getting certain communications, but it won't be true. The way you determine whether they're true or not, or whether they're from a genuine supernatural force, is that they eventually come to pass and things start clicking together like a puzzle being put together and they'll fall into place. And you have to understand that the demonic spirits are not on our time frame. They work on their own time frame. So it might take years for things to come together, but they ultimately will. And because we live in a society that doesn't put a lot of stock in spiritual matters, doesn't put a lot of stock into the supernatural, although we have all these TV shows that have supernatural themes, and we have all these people that claim they believe in Jesus and the resurrection of Christ and all this crap. I mean, they genuinely don't actually believe half the stuff in their own Bible or anybody else's religion. We don't have a lot of people who truly believe in the stuff they say they believe in. We have a lot of people who pay lip service to it because they were raised in it. But when it comes down to it, they don't really believe in the existence of Satan or the demons or the Antichrist or any of those things that Christianity promotes. So although we live in a very spiritually oriented society, Judeo-Christian society, most of the people that practice Christianity don't actually believe in the supernatural part of their religion. They just believe in it as a philosophy of a way to behave. And I doubt very few, I think Muslims and Jews are the same way. They don't believe in the supernatural. So we live in a society that's very science-based, or very reality-based. So it's not unusual to feel like you're going crazy when you start having spiritual or supernatural experiences. It's not unusual to question yourself. It's not unusual to wonder if it's really happening. So again, I will say, look for things to start clicking together, synchronicity, serendipity to start happening. And when it starts happening on a level that's beyond just probability, then you know something's going on. Another thing I would say is that if you're working on your own, which is usually when this stuff starts happening, when you're working on your own on religious projects or rituals or whatever, the demons will start to communicate messages with you through telepathic means, through other means, through Ouija boards, through divination, whatever method you use. And you'll doubt yourself because you're the only one experiencing these things. But as you start working with others that practice magic, you'll see that when the other people start to see the same things you're seeing, when they start receiving the communications that you're receiving, or when they start having events happen to them that verify what you've experienced, then you'll know it's more than just your intuition or your wishful thinking or your imagination or whatever the case may be. So that's my advice to you. Just give it time, work with other people, try to confirm what you're experiencing with other people. If you're truly experiencing something supernatural, the people around you will experience it as well. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope it helps. Take care, everybody. As always, may Satan be with you. And remember to tell a friend about the show whenever you get a chance. And keep listening. Let us know what you think. Give us your feedback. Let us know if there's something you would like us to add to the show. Just give us your feedback. Let us know how we're doing. That's the only way we can improve the shows, if you let us know what you think, bad or good. All right, take care of yourself, everybody. See you next time. Later.
If you would like to learn more about the Shadow Path Diabolism tradition of occultism, go to rjwomack.com. That's rjwomack.com. If you enjoyed this podcast and support our message, tell a friend, leave us a review, and follow us on social media.